Nobody really talks about this part of owning a business. What it does to your marriage. The long hours, the stress, the money pressure, the emotional ups and downs. And what happens when one person is all in and the other is just trying to understand it? Welcome back to Crumbcake and Chaos. I'm Carrie Shelley, mama of 4 and 2 angel babies, entrepreneur, side hustle queen, and someone who has learned that building a business doesn't just affect you. It affects your partner too. When you're the one with the vision, you feel it. You see what it could be. You think about it constantly. You're willing to work longer, sacrifice more, push harder, because in your mind, this isn't optional. This is the future. This is your dream. But your spouse, they don't always see it the same way. And not because they don't support you, not because they don't care, but because they don't feel it the way you do. You're chasing a vision that they can't fully see yet. And then you add tension and that gap. That's where frustration starts. Because you're thinking, why don't they understand how important this is to me? And they're over there thinking, why does this feel more important than us? And let me tell you, the jealousy of business will creep in. There's a jealousy of how much time you're spending at work, how much time you are spending with other people, how much time you're ignoring them to work on work. And you don't understand. It's work. I'm literally killing myself. How are they mad at me? Maybe if they just helped more. You hear B in the background? He's with the attitude too. And they just don't understand what happened to create such a divide. They can't help because the resent is building, or they try and help and we're just bulldozing over them because, let's be honest, when we got a view in mind, we got blinders on and we're telling them to get out of the way. You're mad because they're not helping the way that you need help. They're mad because you're talking to them like shit, and it's just this vicious cycle that repeats and repeats and repeats. And then let's not even get into like if one person is an alpha versus the other, and oh man, it can blow up. Owning a business isn't just work. It's sacrifice. Time you don't get back. Energy you don't have left. Moments you miss. You're missing out on date nights, nights out with friends. You're missing out on anniversaries and birthdays and family events and work parties, going to the baseball game, going to concerts, doing things with your family as like a family with your kids. Dinner, something simple as just being home for dinner. It's late nights at the shop, answering messages during dinner, being on your phone when you said you wouldn't be, being physically there, but mentally somewhere else. I'm so guilty of that. You're there, but you're not really there. And you tell yourself, oh, it's temporary. It'll be worth it. I'm doing this for us. I'm building this empire for us. But that doesn't always make it easier for the person next to you. Sometimes you need to include them in the us. And then there's the stress. The kind people don't see. The emotional stress. The overwhelm. The pressure. Feeling like everything depends on you. Financial stress. You got money going out. Sometimes you're taking from your savings. Sometimes you're taking loans out on your house to pay for your business. Sometimes it's just never enough. You don't know what's coming in. There's so much risk. Maybe you've borrowed from a 401k. It builds. Sometimes you got to sacrifice things that you are used to, like going on vacation, because you're paying your payroll. And then the physical stress. You got long hours, exhaustion, burnout. You're not just building something, you're carrying the weight of all of it. And even if your spouse isn't in the business, they feel that stress. They feel that tension, the pressure, the exhaustion, even when they don't fully understand it. They are left picking up your pieces that you are dropping behind. They're left picking up the shell of a person that you are becoming or have already become. And you don't want to burden them, so you try to keep it all together and, put on this facade. But then you're disconnected from them because you're keeping it all. And if your spouse really loves you, they already know something's wrong. They know something's missing. And let's be honest, it creates fights. Not always big ones. Sometimes it's the small things, your tone, timing, little comments that turn into big arguments. Because you're saying, I'm doing this for us, and they're feeling like I'm losing you. It's not always about the business. It's about what the business is taking from the relationship. And I want to be real for a minute, because this isn't just something I'm talking about. I've lived this. There have been so many nights where I'm at the bakery and it is late and I'm trying to get everything done. I am stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm thinking about a million things at once. And I get home. Some nights I don't even make it home. I get home and I'm exhausted. And I'm physically there, but mentally, I'm still at work. And my husband wants to talk or spend time or just for me to be present. And I'm sitting there thinking about orders, numbers, what needs to be done the next day, my employees. Did I do this? Did I turn this off? All of the stuff and things are just running rampant. Where sometimes I just need to unwind. Like, I don't want to be bothered. I've worked 18 hours. I'm tired. Just leave me alone. Just want to sit in peace. And then the tension builds. And you can feel it. That disconnect. Because in my head, I'm thinking, I'm doing all of this for us. I'm literally killing myself, and you just don't understand what I'm going through. You don't understand how I feel. I'm trying to build something for our family. And I have said those words so many times over the last 14 years. And on the other side, he's feeling, I just want you here. I just want time with you. Why is this bakery so much more important than your family? And it took a long time for that to hit me, to really understand that it's not just about what I'm building. It's about what it's costing while I'm building it. It's not just about me. I'm not the only one making sacrifices. And believe me, I have not always handled that perfectly, like not even remotely. There have been a lot of arguments. There have been some knockout, drag out, nasty fights. A lot of frustration. Times where I've been short, distracted, overwhelmed. Times where I know I could have showed up better. I could have learned to see his side. I could have learned to open up. Talk about how I feel. Talk about how he feels. Realize why he's feeling the way he was. And that's hard. And when you have someone who stays through all of that, someone who supports you, even when it isn't easy, even when you're an absolute pain in the ass, even when they don't fully understand it, that kind of support, that's something you can't take for granted. If you're building something, if you're chasing something, you've probably felt this. That push and pull between the two of you, building your future and being present in your life right now, and learning how to balance that. That's real work. And honestly, harder than actually running your own business. Because success doesn't mean much if you're losing the person you're building it with. And something I've had to learn is to step outside of my own perspective for a minute, put myself in his shoes, and really think about what it's like on the other side. Because while I'm chasing this vision, he's living the reality of it. He's living the long hours, the stress, the mood swings, the exhaustion. He's watching me carry all this pressure, trying to support me, trying to understand, trying to be there, but not always knowing how. And I think sometimes we forget they're sacrificing too. They're sacrificing time with us. Attention, connection, not because they chose the business, but because they chose us. And if they aren't business people, like if that's not what they want to do, they don't know. If we don't educate them, you don't know what you don't know. You can't be mad at them for not being you. You didn't marry them because they were you. At least probably not. And they didn't just marry you. Now they're married to your dream too. And that is not always easy, especially if you didn't have this dream in the beginning and they didn't know what they signed up for. Because while I'm sitting here thinking this will all be worth it, they might be thinking, I hope we're still okay when we get there. And that's the part that changes things for business owners. Realizing that this isn't just your journey, it's yours together. Even if they're just your cheerleader. And if you want the business to succeed, you can't let the relationship fall apart while you're building it. Because at the end of the day, the business is something you created. But your marriage, that's something you have to protect together. You can rebuild a business. But rebuilding trust and connection, rebuilding a relationship, that's a lot harder. And for those of you that are giving your partner, your spouse, your love a hard time, give them some grace. Go help them, even if it's stickering something. The more you push them away. While they need to work on themselves too, so do you. No one's perfect in that situation. And you know, well, one of the hardest parts is it's feeling absent. Even when you're sitting there, sitting next to each other, but your mind is just checked out. You're at work, you're on orders, your numbers, the problems, what's next. Presence isn't just being there. It's being there mentally. And that distance, it adds up. And then there's the other side of this. The spouse who stays. The one who supports you, who steps in, holds things together. The one who did not sign up for a business, but chooses to stand next to you through all of it. Who works their job and then comes and helps you at the end of the day. Who helps you do inventory. Who helps you do computer work. Who helps you in any and every way they possibly can. They didn't sign up for your dream, but they chose you. And that matters more than we say out loud sometimes. So tell them how grateful you are. And be grateful. So what actually makes this work? Communication, those difficult conversations, understanding, patience, respect, and remembering that you are not on opposite sides. And this is not a competition. This is not about who is more powerful. This is not you versus them. It's both of you versus the pressure. One day, all the work, all the stress, all the sacrifice, it will make sense. But don't lose each other trying to build something. Make it work. And let's be honest, you're not going to stop building your business. And you shouldn't. But you also can't ignore your relationship while you do it. So what do? Communicate. Even when you're tired, talk. Even when you don't feel like it. And it's not just about business, but about how you're feeling. Because silence, that's where distance grows. Unspoken stress turns into resentment real fast. Set boundaries with your business. Your business will take everything you give it. So you have to decide where it stops. If you don't stop it, there is no end. It might look like no phones at dinner, shutting it off at a certain time, protecting certain days. If you don't set boundaries, your business will set them for you. You cannot work 24/7. Make intentional time, not just leftover time. Don't give your spouse what's left of you. Give them time on purpose, even if it's small, even if it's not perfect. Connection doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be consistent. Let them in. Sometimes the disconnect comes from not understanding. Talk to them about what you're building, what's stressing you out, what you're trying to do. Help them see what you see. And partners, listen. Don't argue. Listen. People support better when they understand more. And check yourself. Ask yourself honestly, am I showing up the way I should? Not perfectly, but intentionally. Appreciate them. This is big. Say thank you out loud for the patience, for the support, for staying, for the help. Don't assume they know. Tell them. Because the truth is, building something great takes sacrifice. But it shouldn't cost you everything. You don't need perfect balance. You just need awareness and effort. Building a business is hard, really hard. But building a business and protecting your marriage and your family at the same time, that takes intention. Don't forget the person who's been there through all of it. And if this is something you're going through, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment or send me a message. I am always here to help. Thank you guys for being part of the chaos with me this week. And when life gets crummy, remember, there's always something sweet to look forward to. Have a great day, guys.